Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Flash, and thank you for joining me for another Marvel Mystic Mayhem video. As you can see, we have some big things here to talk about, some major updates to the game. So let's get straight into that. But before I dive into the details, a little bit of housekeeping. Hit that like button, subscribe, do all the fun things that help the algorithm and the things that the algorithm likes. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Now, first and foremost, the first things that we have from that are already in the game, we already know about the Thor banner and the highlight and the dragon armor coming back and the changes to Bifrost Brawl where you can battle your friends. That's in the game already. This stuff here is the August 21st update. So next week we'll be getting these things. This is some of the things that we've been asking for. I do think a lot of people kind of jumped off ship a little early in this game. And I'll get into a little bit more of that towards the back end here. But level cap raised from 70 to 80. That's a good increase. Give us some more things to grind for and start saving those resources now, which of course comes with the hero level cap going up and the talent level cap for each individual hero going from 7 to 8. So again, you're going to need those extra resources. How many more dream cores are we going to need? These are things you're going to have to, we don't have the answers to those questions yet. So start saving up those resources now. That's what you should be grinding for. If you don't have all the unique artifacts, obviously grind for those. But if you have all of them already, you should just start sitting on those resources. Get your TAC reports together, get your coins together, start saving those things up now because you're going to need them to increase these levels. And of course, highlight level cap for all the highlights going up from 70 to 80 as well. Some of this has typos that are very interesting, but anyway, Dreamscape difficulty getting added for Battle Bonanza, Treasure Hunt, and Rune Raid. Rune Raid is getting 7, Treasure Hunt and Battle Bonanza are getting 8, so that's nice. TAC reports, stream coins, again, all those things that we were just talking about, these things that you're going to need to start to stockpile. There's going to be more levels for these higher difficulties. That's good. There's going to be more ways to gain more resources for making these upgrades, which is nice. So another unlock rules adjustment for Dreamscape. After clearing the current difficulty at 3-star, the next difficulty will be unlocked, right? Lowered the level requirement for unlocking difficulties. That's nice, right, for a lot of players coming up through. Adjusted the requirements for some Dreamscapes to 3-star. Okay. Note, stages that have already been unlocked will not be unlocked again, right? So you can't spam that thing. Okay, all that's well and good. Those last few ones, well, a lot of players may not even notice that, truth be told. Let's get into one of the more meatier ones here, the artifacts. Now, there's a lot of text and some of this might be small for a lot of you, so I will trim this as need be as I go along. Of course, we'll ADHD this as we always do. But the biggest and most important bullet point is the first one straight away. You can't miss it. Each hero can only equip one unique artifact. That's a big deal for especially the top end people. A lot of people heavy into the PvP. It's going to change the meta because, as you know, when you're taking your best 3 into those battles, they generally all have 2 unique artifacts on them. You're taking those unique artifacts and you're putting those 2 on each of those characters and maximizing your output. Not going to be able to do that anymore. It's going to change the meta. It's going to change how you use those, whatever the second one is going to be that's not a unique artifact. It's going to change the dynamic a little bit. Added legendary quality to existing common artifacts with a level cap 20. Now, what that is going to look like, we do not know. All right, genuinely, we don't have a blueprint for what that looks like or what that even means. We have an idea, but we don't know for sure. Increase the number and variety of attribute. I'm going to read this over here because in attribute entries suitable for controllers and defenders, new attributes can appear through refinement, right? That's nice. Artifact drop rarity adjustments. So that's, pay attention to this, right? Fabled Find as a new difficulty 6 with a chance to drop a unique artifact, legendary, and epic common artifact. Okay, so chance for everything at that level. Able to find difficulties 4 and 5 have a chance to drop legendary and epic, but will no longer drop unique artifacts. So currently, as you know, Fabled Finds 4 and 5, you can get a unique artifact. That is going away. It's adding a level 6 which is where you'll be able to get access to those unique artifacts. So kind of narrowing it down a little bit, which I think is nice, actually. I thought it was kind of weird that 4 and 5 gave you access to hit a unique artifact. I thought that was kind of oddly structured. So I like that kind of cleans that up. Increase the drop rate of epic common artifacts in Fabled Finds. So that's good, right? So the epics have an increased drop rate, or maybe that's good. I don't know, because maybe that takes away from you being able to get unique artifacts. We'll unpack that as we go. Temple of Oblivion and Temple of Khonshu in Crimson Campaign and Game of Khonshu now feature level 75 chests and level 75 chests. Why would it, right? Which have a chance to contain unique artifact, legendary, and epic common artifact. Okay. The 55 and 65 chests, I'm not reading all of that, have a chance for legendary and epic, but will not contain unique. Very similar to how Fabled Finds is going to handle it. The chest in Game of Khonshu and Crimson Campaign will do the same, adding another chest level 75, which means 55 and 65 will not have unique artifacts in it anymore. Dumb it down, right? Straightforward. Adjusted the number of Essence shards dropped in Fabled Finds difficulty 5. I don't know what the adjusted number is going to be. Hopefully higher, but it doesn't say. It just says adjusted the number. It could be lower. When you say adjusted the number, you have to pick a direction. Maybe we should assume higher for now. And lastly, targeted artifact acquisition. Each dungeon will only drop specific types of artifacts rather than all types. I think that's nice because it allows you to target things a little bit better. If I'm reading that correctly, right? Players can choose the corresponding stage to farm based on the artifact they want, right? Greatly increasing the success rate of obtaining it. Okay, yes. So basically what I said is a fact 14 seconds ago. In Game of Khonshu and Crimson Campaign, artifact chests obtained through exchange will offer different combinations to increase the success rate of acquiring specific artifacts. Sure, okay. Just more, right, from those first 2 bullet points. Extended to Game of Khonshu and Crimson Campaign. Here's my thoughts on this. These are good changes for this, for the August 21st update, right? We have something. If you didn't do the Loki story mode yet, I haven't done it. I haven't done the story for Loki, and I haven't done the stem or the branch. Don't just wait. This is why I waited, because we have no idea. I assume that XP that we've all been getting, but we've been playing with now, is not going to roll over. I don't think that's getting pooled and it's just going to go, here you go, here's all that XP that you've been gaining over the past couple of weeks. I don't think that's going to happen. So hold on, don't do the Loki thing if you haven't done it. Still hold off on that. Bigger picture, going back to the state of the game, I think that, as I said before, a lot of people kind of jumped off ship a little bit prematurely, in my opinion. Some people were 3 days in and like, I can't get past level 20. I can't do this. Like, I have people in my alliance that got to like 20 and that was it. They didn't play after that. I'm like, okay, well, you understand what this game is when you go into it. It's a free-to-play gacha game. So you understand all of the mechanics. There are some things that need to get changed. I am a believer that 80 pulls for the pity is probably a little bit too high. Personally, I would like to see it at about 70. I think 70 or 75. I think 70 is probably better, but 70 puts us in a danger range where they might change the tuning of how many keys you can gain access to, which is already an issue. But I'm about to get into that. 70 is maybe a tricky point. 75, I think, is a good place to say, okay, let's dial it back a little bit without disrupting the key acquisition, which segue right into that. There needs to be more ways to access great keys continuously, with increasing level caps and adding story modes, adding these things to the game. That does kind of give you, but that is a little bit fewer and far between. Now, granted, we've got a level cap increase. We are a month and a week ish into this game, 2 weeks, whatever it is. This game is still barely scratching the surface. A lot of people were crying that the game is going to die, and we don't have any metric for measuring that after a month. That's my personal opinion. Now 6 months down the road, now we can start to talk about the state of the game in terms of long term, where it's at that moment. Is it really sustainable, whatever the case may be? But I don't think that's fair to make after a month. I am very much enjoying this game. I am as close to most of you as possible from a content creator's perspective in terms of being close to free to play. I've spent less than $100 on this game. I bought the Scarlet Witch because you should have done that. I bought her highlight. Everybody didn't need to do that, but I definitely wanted to pick up her highlight as well. So those were like 15 a piece. I bought that first Dreamcast. It was like 10 bucks, and I bought a couple of the $5 ones. Very minimal spend. I am not a whale. I'm not a dolphin. I'm not, the highest of the high. I know, great content creator out there, Mark TZ. He spends a lot because he's got like max Soul Saga for a lot of things. I have like none of that. I don't even have a duplicate for Emma Frost. Okay, those 3-star. I don't have any I don't have any duplicates for any of those 3. I think I have one for like Storm. And that's the free 3-star, right? I think I got one for Juggernaut. I have a dupe for Juggernaut, so there's that. But I think this game can, and I've never had, and I have mostly, I've seen my team. It's mostly 70. The max. I have Thor. I only need to roll out who I have. Here's who I don't have: Loki and Spider-Man. That's it. That's it. And I don't think you need to pull for Loki. I mentioned that before in my last video, which I'm sure will be linked here somewhere, right in one of these corners or something. You don't need to pull for Loki. I don't think that's necessary. He's good, he's fun, but he's not meta defiant or dependent or anything like that. You don't need Loki. I think this game will be fine over the course of time. We just need to stick with and trust the process, because they keep adding things. They are listening. It's not like they're completely ignoring the player base and just going, "Oh, we've got your money, ha ha ha, we're out of here." They're making updates. They're hearing you. They're making adjustments. They're adding things. Everybody was up in arms about the Dream Queen stuff. They're like, "Oh yeah, that was a mistake, and we did this and whatever. Here's that. We added it back in, and we put the verbiage in properly." I mean, things are happening. I just think that people were a little bit overzealous and had a bit of an unrealistic expectation for the first 30 days. But one thing is very clear and very true: key acquisition needs to be better. They need to turn the dial a little bit on finding ways to get more keys into the player's hands. Just period, right? But again, it's God, you get, like, I pulled Captain America from a shadow key 4 days ago. And I got Thor from my second pity on the 80 on the standard banner, which, as you know, you only get 2 of those. So I had to get lucky. The first one was that dupe for Juggernaut. So here we are. But all in all being said, and that last bit, I will leave you with this: should you pull on the Thor banner? If you do not have Thor, my recommendation is yes, because I think the next few banners that we're going to get are characters that are already in the game. Because as you can see, the Thor, then we might get one for Emma. I think they're going to hold off a little bit here on giving us brand new characters on those banners, which is kind of good. It gives some people time to catch up on. I think there was some concern that was going to be like, you're dropping new characters in the game every week, every 2 weeks. I think here's where we shift gears a little bit. Potentially, I could be wrong. The next banner could be a new hero. We'll see. But I think this is a nice, even if it's one in between where it's like, here's one of the characters that you may not have that's really good, and then the following banner is a new character, and then the following banner is an older character, right? I think there's a kind of give and take with that. That's possibly how they plan to handle this in the current, like, short to mid-term, kind of future. But all that being said, I very much appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for checking this video out. I'm gonna have another video about, I don't know, the next thing, whatever the next thing is that we need to talk about here in Marvel Mystic Mayhem. I will be making a video about that. Like I said, check out my Loki video, check out the tier list video for August update I just did. And I thank you so much, each and every one of you. I very much appreciate you hanging out with me and the Midnight Gang here with another Marvel Mystic Mayhem video. I will catch y'all next time. Peace.